Hi guys! We're launching a new series specifically aimed at beginners, those who really know nothing about the game. We will clarify each element and its functionality. In the game All-Star Tower Defense, the goal of the players is to protect their territory from a flood of enemies, using a variety of towers. Each of these towers has unique attributes and can be upgraded to increase their defensive power. Furthermore, the towers are representations of characters from various anime series, which adds an extra touch of fun for fans of these series. The game is not only about tower defense dynamics. All-Star Tower Defense also requires a certain amount of strategy from the players. It is necessary to know where and when to position the towers to maximize their effectiveness. There is also a collection component, as players can acquire and upgrade different characters to strengthen their defenses. Now, let's detail a little about the base attributes of each unit. When you acquire a new unit, it starts at level 1. The maximum level for all units is 175 and, obviously, the higher the level, the greater the damage caused. Each unit has a star rating, which ranges from 2 to 7. Theoretically, 7-star units are the most powerful, but there are some exceptions. In this interface, you can lock your unit to avoid feeding it accidentally. The feed button serves precisely to feed your unit, which allows you to raise it to the maximum level and increase the damage it causes. Here, it is also possible to see the cost to mobilize this unit in the field, the damage it can cause, the interval between attacks, and the range of its actions. We won't delve too much into this video, as we will soon release another one, which will cover topics such as categories, elements, and other aspects related to units in more detail. Stay tuned! On the right side of the game interface, we find the following elements. Avatar, this is where your emotes and mounts will be. Gifts, this section houses the gifts you have received. Store, this is where you can acquire gems, Game Pass, Stardust, and capsules using Robux, the currency of Roblox. On the left side, we have Hero Summon. This area in the lobby allows players to obtain main and secondary characters using gems, gold, and Stardust. Except for exclusive and 6-star units, most units can be acquired through the banners available here. Located in the lobby, opposite to Infinite Mode, the Hero Summon can also be accessed through the Summon button on the left side of the screen. The units and the banners change every hour. There are 8 different banners: X, Y, Z, G, W, F, N, and E, as well as a special summon banner. Inventory. Here you will find all your units. The plus icon is used to acquire more slots. The second icon allows you to use some filters, like searching only for units with blessings. The third icon allows for quick creation and search of decks. The fourth icon is used to remove equipped blessings. In the task section, we have the following tasks. Reach level, every 5 levels. Defeat boss, in the story mode area. Cause X amount of damage, this task will yield the largest number of gems. Defeat Wave X, in infinite mode. Collect X amount of different units. Evolve X amount of units. And also daily tasks. Increase a unit's XP to earn gems. Summon 5 times. Finish 3 missions. Defeat Wave 10 in infinite mode. About orbs, we'll talk more later. However, know that all your orbs will be stored in this specific section for them. The Star Pass is a progression system that offers various levels, each with specific rewards, such as units, XP, coins, gems, and capsules. There are 2 reward tracks, the free one and the Star Pass Ultra. The latter offers additional prizes. The Star Pass Ultra track can be unlocked using the Star Pass Ultra unit, which can be acquired in the Z banner in World 2 as a 6-star unit by evolving 1 mysterious key and 20 current capsules through trades or directly purchasing for 799 Robux. In settings, we have some relevant options. Attack FX refers to the magic effects and other effects of the units. You can choose to have these effects on high, low, or completely off. The recommendation is to leave this option off. Auto skip: with each wave, an X number of enemies will appear. If you leave this option off, you will need to eliminate all enemies for the next wave to arrive. If you choose to leave it on, while you are eliminating enemies, the next wave will already start to appear. Low GFX: this option allows you to reduce the graphical quality of the game to make it lighter. Trading: by leaving this option on, you will be able to trade with other players. Remember that you need to be level 40 or higher to trade. Restore: if you accidentally fed a Star Pass unit, this option allows you to restore that unit. The last option allows you to enter codes that the developers occasionally release. We will start with the story mode. In this mode, each mission represents a different anime, where you will face some of the most iconic villains of each series. For example, the first mission is from Dragon Ball Z, where you will face the Ginyu Special Forces and Frieza. Whenever you complete a mission for the first time, you will receive 20 gems and 3 Stardust, if my memory serves me right. If you are repeating the mission, you will receive 5 gems. In addition, you will always win a random unit from the map you are playing. I'll use Goku Black as an example. To evolve into Goku Black Rose, you need a specific amount of these units. Clicking on the unit, the game indicates where it can be obtained. The story mode is useful both for evolving some units and for unlocking the Y banner, which requires you to reach at least the Kingdom of Ants. We'll talk more about the Y banner later. The purpose of this video is to present the functionality of each element of the game, so I won't provide a detailed gameplay on how to pass each mission. This board displays the latest updates of the game, so it's always useful to take a look and stay informed about recent news and changes. Now let's talk about Orbs and the material farming mode. Material farming is a game mode accessible to players at level 50 or higher. Think of it as an extreme version of the infinite mode, with enemy health reaching exorbitant levels from the start. Players can choose the extreme mode in material farming, but they don't receive extra materials for it and are usually eliminated within a few minutes. Just like in the normal infinite mode, players earn experience after every 10 completed waves. The unique aspect of this game mode is that it provides materials for crafting multiple orbs for each defeated enemy. These materials can be used in the orb store located at the entrance of the game mode. To acquire the materials, you need to defeat any enemy in the game mode. The materials and the quantity obtained are random, and the higher your wave, the greater the drop amount. Orbs are equipable items that can be attached to any slot of your team and offer additional benefits, such as reducing deployment cost or increasing damage. There are various ways to obtain orbs, with the main one being purchasing them in the orb store using gems or materials. The rest can be obtained by winning trials, raids, and challenges on specific difficulties. You can access and equip orbs through the orbs icon. It's important to note that you can only equip one orb per unit slot and can only possess one of each type of orb. The only exception to this rule is water orbs. Infinite Mode. Infinite Mode is a gameplay experience where enemies of all varieties continue to spawn until your base's defense capacity runs out. This mode is commonly used by players to accumulate large amounts of gems, thanks to the damage task and the daily task of Infinite Mode. The main goal in this mode is to resist for as long as possible with the help of your units. When a player's base reaches 0 health, a random EXP-1 or Express 2 unit is provided. These units are useful for evolving your own units and are granted every 10 completed rounds and 3 EXP units every 10 rounds in Extreme mode. In World 1, Infinite mode features 5 variants: Regular, Airborne, Solo, Category, and Double Path. Regular, this is the most common variant and is often chosen as the default map for Infinite matches. The enemies consist of Powerful I, Powerful 2, Slowdown, Explosive, and Cloner. There are no elemental or airborne enemies in this mode. Airborne, the airborne mode can be accessed by selecting the Demon Slayer map when entering Infinite mode. However, regular enemies are replaced by airborne enemies. These can only be damaged by hill and hybrid units. Solo, this mode can only be played alone. Category, in this mode, players are encouraged to use units that belong to the specified category. Units that do not belong to the specific category will deal 33% of their usual damage, except for units summoned directly from the base. Double Path, the Double Path mode can be accessed by selecting the Namek map when entering Infinite mode. However, there are 2 separate paths that enemies can take. It is recommended to bring a partner, allowing each player to focus on a separate path. There is also a leaderboard outside the lobby area, displaying the top 20 players who have reached the highest wave, showing the wave reached and the player who achieved it. Players who are on the leaderboard when it resets receive 1,000 gems and an exclusive unit. PvP is a game mode where players compete to see who can defend their base from enemies for the longest time. The PvP area is located in the Infinite mode region in World 1. You need to be level 15 plus to access this game mode. Upon entering the area, you will be directed to a matchmaking lobby where you can queue up to find an opponent. Once matched, both players will be sent to a Marineford map. The match ends when one player's base reaches 0 HP. Winners of matches that go beyond Wave 10 in a match will receive 12 gems, and the loser will receive 3 gems. Here is the gateway to World 3, but you need to be level 115 to access it. Serpentis Way is the same path that Goku traveled in Dragon Ball Z. There are 12 levels spread along the Serpentis Way road, consisting of 3 trials, 3 raids, 3 challenges, and 3 bouts based on various anime series, with rewards being units and orbs depending on the level. I plan to make a video solely about Serpentis Way and its challenges. Here is the gateway to World 2, but you need to be level 100 to access it. The time chamber can give a player 5 gems, 8 gold, and 0.5 stardust completely free every 500 seconds. All values are doubled for Roblox Premium subscribers and VIP Game Pass owners. When you click Claim Rewards, you will be teleported back to the lobby and receive the accumulated coins. If you leave or disconnect from the time chamber without pressing Claim Rewards, your coins will be saved. However, they cannot be accumulated while outside of the time chamber. Tower mode is a game mode structured into multiple stages called floors, located in World 1. Each floor encompasses previous maps but with some peculiarities, such as different enemies. Upon completing it, the tower will continue generating floors for what appears to be an infinite number of times. There is a leaderboard for the cleanest floors. Rewards are only given on the first clean of each season. Upon completing floor 100, you will also be rewarded with a unit. And at the end of these 100 floors, you will receive 20,000 gems and 1,100 stardust. In the level 30 plus ticket, you will have the option to receive a unit from the X, Y, and G banners or a certain amount of gems and gold. This provides players with some flexibility and allows them to choose the reward they consider most valuable at the moment. As for the level 75 ticket, if you manage to complete it in normal mode, you will be rewarded with 8 EXP for units, which is a significant boost to improving your units. Furthermore, if you overcome the challenge in extreme mode, you will receive an impressive total of 24 EXP for units. This will undoubtedly be a huge help in evolving your units and making them even more powerful. Here we have the Prestige mode. By sacrificing your levels, the player can receive wishes. To enter Prestige, talk to Aaron. There are 3 options you can choose from. Relic, you will receive the Super Blue Eye Orb, which provides an initial 40% RNG that can be used by any unit. Wealth, you will receive 10,000 gems, 500 Stardust, and 10,000 gold. Power, here you will receive 3 units, with a different troop for each wish. The sequence is as follows: Unnamed Shinigami, Xeno Trunks, and Jotaro Kujo. Well, my friends, I believe we have explored every corner of this world one. From story mode to prestige mode, through tower mode, infinite mode, and PvP, we have covered it all. I sincerely hope that this journey has been informative and helpful for you. If there was any part of this video that has helped you in any way, I would like to ask for your support by subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. These small gestures mean a lot to me and help me continue producing quality content for you. Don't forget to activate notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. We are always listening to what you have to say. Thank you very much for your presence and your time. I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, and happy gaming!